Good morning, my name is Jacob Folger. I'm an artist sculptor, and today we're going to make a dragon crystal lamp using a few ingredients. We're going to be using quartz crystal, raw crystal points. We're going to be using a very powerful lithium lithium powered lamp battery. It changes colors, and we're going to use some polymer clay, and this is Sculpey 3 brand, and it's my brand of choice, but you can use what you like. And we're going to be using a little glass jar base type thing. And to get started, we want to knead our clay to get it nice and soft to the touch. This will also condition it, and mixing up all the ingredients on the inside of the clay so that it sculpts well and bakes well as well. Now, I did a good bit of that before starting here. I'm going to work it into the shape of a ball like this, and then I'm going to roll it into a ball. And this rolling it like this will make it fairly smooth. And then I'm going to start to flatten it out just by squeezing it here. You know, I experiment a lot. I come up with ideas, and I had bought some crystals and wanted to do some things with them, and I was just kind of messing around, and then I remembered these lights that I bought a while back, and it just the idea sort of just came together, and we're going to make it happen today. So now that I've got it kind of flat started, I'm going to put a piece of paper down just so it won't stick to the table. I have a typical household rolling pin here, and I'm just going to roll it and try to get it a nice uniform thickness, and maybe about a 1/16 of an inch thick. A little bit more possibly. I actually picked this rolling pin up at the thrift store for $3.99. Now, I am going to put a tool and supply list down below the video in the video description that's going to have the sources for the various things that we're using today. Like where can you get these crystals and things like that. Okay, that should about do it. I'm just going to check it. I'm going to pick up the paper and look at the thickness, and I can see it's mostly uniform, same thickness all the way around. Now I'm going to just peel that off the paper. It just comes off a lot easier than if I had left it on the table like that. I'm going to put my my jar or vase down with the top down. Now, I do want to say that it's probably a good idea when choosing your glass to have a fairly clear bottom. And then however many crystals you're going to use, maybe bunch them up in your hand and measure across to see how wide that is, and make sure that the bottom is going to be about the same width or a little bit more. So they're going to sit on there like that. So let's get the clay on there. And I got it on there, and I'm just going to kind of pull it down to form around the vase. Just try to get it wrapped around the vase. Now that, you know, by doing it that way, it's not going to be all lumpy and everything. It's going to be fairly uniform thickness all the way around. It may not be void of any problems, but it's going to be pretty good. I'm just going to try to bring it. The shape of the vase is kind of goes inward at here on this end, so I want to get that wrapped nicely around it. Then what I'm going to do is take a sharp knife and just bring it down into the, against the lip there, and just carve it. To free it from the bottom, or the what is essentially the bottom now. And I just sort of smooth that out there. Now I've got the, this is where the top is. We're going to call that the top now. And I'm going to take my knife and cut out a circle at the top there. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to take my crystals sort of you know, just position them together where I want them. And then I'm going to take some clay, because that the thickness here of the clay coming up on the crystals is not very thick. So I want to make this, I want a band going around the crystals. And just to hold them in place, you know. So I want to make sure they're kind of standing up on their ends. And then just blend that clay in to the top of the mound. Now I'm going to pick my best angle, which would probably be there. Just finish that up there. And I'm going to I want to take some clay, and the dragon is going to come around here like this. So what I want to do is bring the back of it up using clay. and that way you'll be able to see the dragon, the whole dragon. And so we're kind of getting it, just it's a matter of smoothing it and, you know, taking your time to get the mound in kind of a good shape. I'm just gonna sculpt that in there. Now I'm going to start working on the dragon. I'm going to get a little bit of clay over here. Okay, I've got the clay about conditioned here. I'm going to roll it into a ball. This is, what I'm going to show you here is a really easy way to make a dragon body. So I'm rolling it like that, so that it's kind of pointed on this end and pointed on this end. And then what I'll do is I'll put it on the table, and I'll apply pressure here, which will bring this out. And then I'm going to do that on the other side. I want to leave this kind of high point here, and that's for like the body, the actual body. And then this here will probably be the head, and then we're now working on the tail. I'll roll the middle section a little bit just to kind of smooth it out. And I kind of want the tail to be long enough to, you know, sculpt it in a nice sweeping kind of fashion. So I'll just take my time and roll that out. Rolling it on the table helps to keep it uniform. And you just want to keep your hands, you know, moving back and forth, or not. And you definitely don't want to just keep it in one place, because then it would get that whatever part that you're rolling really skinny. Now I want to just round this. This is going to be where the nose is, so I just want to kind of prepare that a little bit. And I'm just going to sort of position this on here to see if it's long enough and that the tail is long enough and all that. So then I'm going to take it off for a minute and take a sculpting tool and score it here, because we want this to be fairly sturdy. And I'll score the top of the mound as well. And then just twist it on there. And I'll bring bring the neck around. Pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat. And I'll bring the neck around like that, and so the head is actually right here. And I'm not sure how this is going to go, but maybe like this. Kind of bring the tail around like that. Okay, and that's a pretty good shape there. I'm definitely trying to keep everything, you know, moving in a very nice flowing manner. I don't want it to be, you know, any straight lines. I want everything to be curved like that. And now I'm going to take I'm going to use a ball tool, and I want to keep, if I keep the distance between the end of the nose and where the eye is going to be short, my dragon will be friendly. That's basically how it works for me. I like friendly dragons. I'm not really looking to make frightening dragons at this point in time in my career. So I have made some mean looking dragons, but not recently. So I'm going to keep that fairly short, and I'm going to put an indentation in here for the eye, like that. And then we get a little bit of clay here. I'm going to go ahead and just condition that a little bit more. And I'm going to take just a little bit and make an eyeball. Now, if you see my dragons, a lot of the dragons I make are kind of in this position. It's just my thing. I can make them in other positions, but I really kind of just like this, so I do it a lot. Let me just so I get the eyeball in there. I'm going to take a fairly sharp sculpting tool here. And make a mark in the pupil. And then I'm going to take a noodle of clay and put that over top, and that's going to be for the eyelid or eyebrow. And then I'm going to take, I could take a, maybe, grab a paintbrush in here. I'll take a paintbrush and put it right there. You make a little hole there, and that'll be for his nostril. There we go. Now if I smooth where the eyelid connects with the head there a little bit, it makes him less fearless. I mean, or angry. He's in between. He's not like super friendly, and he's not super mean either. but I kind of like the way he looks. Formidable yet friendly. That's what I say. And then what I'm going to do is take a little ball of clay like this and roll it so that it's kind of cone shaped like that. And put that on right there, and that's going to be his ear. And I can take a sculpting tool like this and just kind of blend it in there. And then I'll just kind of make an indentation on the inside of the ear to kind of just give it, you know, shape the ear a little bit. There we go. Now I want to make a spade for the tail, the very tip there. So I'm going to take a little bit of clay and I'm going to roll it into a ball like that, and then I'm going to roll it into a cone shape, and by squeezing it here, it's going to make it sharper. If I pinch along the top here of it, it will kind of make like a ridge. So I'm just shaping it. And then I'll put it on top of the tip of the tail. And then I kind of like to curve the end of the spade up. You can curve it any way you like, but that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just kind of curving it up so it stays with the basic contour of the shape of the tail, the way the tail is laying on there now. Okay, now we're going to do the legs. And so I'm going to roll a ball of clay like this, roll it into a cone shape, sometimes it's easier to roll it between the palms of your hands, or, you know, whatever you like. I'm going to bend it here, creating a knee. So this is kind of like, here is the hip, and this is the foreleg, or lower leg. I'm going to kind of pinch up here a little bit, kind of more defining that knee. Now I'm not going to worry about a foot at this point because the crystals are right there. I'm going to put it right about there. And blend the hip into the body. Now I'm gonna the front leg's a little bit different. It's just basically kind of a cone shape like this. So I'm going to lay it on there and see how it looks there. And then I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some toes on it. So I'll roll little noodles of clay. And just put them on the end of the arm or end of the leg like that. Like that, and then one other. So he's going to have three toes. Like that. And then I'll take a sculpting tool and just blend the toes into his arm. I'm doing this now instead of trying to do it when it's in there, because it's going to be, you know, hard to get to. I can squeeze the ends to make him a little sharper. And I can use this tool here just to kind of make a little indentation for where the nail, each nail is. And I'll just sort of set it down in there. So it kind of fits in there pretty well. And then I'll just blend the arm into the body. Just sort of blending this a little bit here, and then I'll put it around to the other side, roll a ball for the back leg, roll it into a cone shape, kind of bend it there to make a knee, and shape the knee with my finger by squeezing it there. And place it on the body, and then just blend it in. I can take a sculpting tool just to kind of blend the top in a little bit. Just cut it in. So I was thinking, you know, to maybe suggest to you other ideas. Actually, I'm not going to give you ideas. I'm going to let you come up with your own. Though, how else could you make a lamp? You know, what kind of ideas can you come up with that might be fun to do? And in the meantime, maybe I'll come up with some of my own and share them with you in another tutorial. If you would like another tutorial like this, you know, leave me a comment in the comment section. tell me what you're thinking, and I'll see what I can do. There are a couple videos on my YouTube account that were suggested by people. I find it inspiring, really, to have people, suggest things like that. And then make a, since this is so down under like that, I'm going to make the arm and add the toes again the way I did last time. Put that. Now, if you're new to this, it takes a little bit of getting used to get your hands to work the way you want them to. You might find out that your dragon by the end of this is kind of lumpy or bumpy, or you just have to be patient with yourself. Just give yourself a break, basically, because it takes time and practice to get to a point where it's easy to do this. And even then, it can be, it takes some time. It just takes time for me too. I have to practice a lot, to keep that dexterity I have with my fingers. And it really doesn't matter what you're making, as long as you're making something. So it's not like you would have to just keep making dragon after dragon after dragon. You could make anything, really. You could make snowmen. 3 balls and a nose and eyes. So you could really do that if you wanted to, and that would be practice. So anything really simple, it doesn't matter what it is. We'll get your fingers going. Okay, now we're going to do scales. And the way I do those on my dragons anyways is I roll a noodle that has a point on the end like that. Lay it on the tail, starting down here, and then after I lay it on, blend it in at the top. So lay it on, and blend it in. And then just go, all the way up. Okay, I'm coming up to the head now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to terminate these scales here shortly. And I'm going to show you how I do a unicorn type horn, which is, you know, customary for my dragons. So what I do is I take, set that back for a minute. I take a needle of clay and then I roll it like that between my fingers, and then I start rolling kind of just at the end there. See how my fingers are staying right there? I'm rolling the end so it becomes a point. And I'll roll it down here as well. You also can roll on the table if it's easier. And then once I get it to the length I want, I'm going to fold it in half like that, and twist it really gently. And then just sort of real easy, you know, squeezing and kind of bring the two ends together so it looks like that. Then I'll put it on the head and just kind of press it into place. And it just makes kind of a, you know, kind of a cool looking, like, you know, it's cool. It looks like a unicorn horn pretty much on there. Now we're going to do the wings. I'm just going to bring it up close so you can see what it's looking at. I just realized my light is off here. Hope it was bright enough. And I want to make the wings, so I'm going to grab some more clay here. Let's see. Don't need a whole lot, but I'm gonna make two balls about the same size, and that will be for both wings. So I have both wings. So about the same volume of clay. So that one's a little bit too small. So they're about the same size now. And I'm gonna roll. Okay, so I usually, a lot of times I start with a ball of clay like this, and the reason why I do that is it smooths the clay out before, you know, going on to making the part that I'm going to make. And then I roll, in this case I'm rolling a long cone shape like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll the other cone shape for the other wing, just so that they're about the same size, like that. And then if I take my thumb right here and press along the edge here, it will create kind of a ridge along the top. And that's just kind of normal for a wing to have like that ridge there. And you can take your finger and you can slide it along it to smooth it out a little bit. But also, when we finish up, you can go to the video description below the video, and you'll see 2 videos there on how to smooth polymer clay, and you could use those to learn how to do it. Sometimes attaching them with wire is good, but you know, for wings this small, I probably won't do that here today. But definitely, so you place it where you think you want to put it, and then do the scoring. Where it's going to go on both parts. And then you can also take some Sculpey Bacon Bond, which is baking adhesive, so that when it gets hot, it gives a really good bond. So you can use that like that, and then twist the parts together. And you can blend them. You can blend them with your fingers, but if you can't reach them, you can blend them with a tool. Like that. And then you can just, you know, position it. It probably would not be a great idea to have it, you know, off in the wind by itself. You should probably bring it in and tie it into the body somewhere, just so that it doesn't break off very easily. I'm just going to sharpen that end a little bit there, just by squeezing it. And then just press it. You can press it into place, and I'll show you. You can go back and cut it in wherever it joins. You can take a sculpting tool like this, and you can cut it in so that it's tight to the other parts, like to the body, to the leg, wherever you can cut it in. And then we can put on the other one. So let's see, yeah, it goes like that. So just you know, squeeze it with your thumb. Actually, I messed up. It's supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to be, let me make it again. Okay, we're going to the other side to do the other wing. Squeezing it with our thumb to create the ridge there. It's just one way to do it, you know. You can change that, of course. score it where it's going to join the body. Put on a little bacon bond. And twist it into shape, into place there. And then blend it in. And then you can decide where you want it to go, and I think I'm going to do it similar to the other wing here. Press it into place, and then you want to go back with your sculpting tool and cut it in and make sure it's got a good bond to the body and to the mound, or wherever it needs to join. Now I think another thing I want to do is I think that, and then I think I like texture a lot, so I'm gonna just take my tool and dig at it. To kind of rough it up. Just kind of, that's all I'm doing really, is just roughing it up, because I think I'm probably gonna do the base, that the mound in bronze, and I think it will really look nice, so I want to do that. And just using the back of a tool, you can use anything really. Okay, so I got the texture on, and now I was like thinking maybe just taking my tool like this and going around and just kind of cleaning up that bottom edge and making it a little bit more uniform. Like that. And now, so if you want to do any smoothing, you could do that. Use the videos in the video description, like I told you, that are there. And also, do any cutting to make sure that everything is joined okay. You want to do that and just get it ready to finish. And so we're going to do the finish. And let's see, I'm going to use some colors here. What colors would I like to use? I love purple dragons. I have always loved purple dragons. If you see all the dragons I made, most of them are purple, to be honest with you. I don't like the green too much. I mean, not for dragons. I like the green, but not for dragons. And let me get the bronze here. I got the bronze. Now I'm using Pearl Pigments. And I call this purple, but it's actually Reflex Violet. All the colors that I'll be using today, I'll put in the video description in the tool and supply list. That tool and supply list is going to be packed full of goodies. Where to get the crystals, where to get the lamps, where to get everything. Okay? So, be sure to look there. And so we're going to go ahead and do the finish. And there's a couple ways to apply it. One, you can apply it with a brush. You can apply it with your finger. You know, obviously it might be kind of hard to get to if you're, you know, doing it with your finger. You might not be able to get to it very well because it's so tight and lots of nooks and crannies. I'm gonna make sure my brush is nice and clean here. Bear with me, I'm off screen wiping down my brush. I'm going to use some Reflex Violet, I call it purple, and I'm going to get some on my brush, and I'm going to put it in the lid. That just makes it easier to get to and all that. And then I'm just going to brush it on. That. If you pick it up, you just have to make sure that you go back and check your texturing to make sure you didn't obliterate it when you're holding it. And it's just a powder, and it goes on, you know, you brush it on or use your finger. I usually always try to put the bronze on with my finger because I just think it looks really, really good. It's just so pretty. And I'm going to highlight it with bronze, and oh boy, wait till you see it. It's so gorgeous. You know, you can do that with the green as well, but the Reflex Violet just has a really nice quality when it's combined with the bronze as an accent. So, you know, any kind of the, you know, the darker colors and that sort of thing. And I'm just looking actually to kind of, in a way, it's kind of an antique finish. You know, I really want the black to shine through a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to, you can get these brushes, by the way. I'm going to give you the source for these brushes as well. It's like $10 and you get like 10 brushes, and they're really actually pretty nice. This little plastic thing kind of is a guard that just protects the end of the brush, but if you're trying to do something like the eye in bronze, it's you know, it works really well, as you can see. And I just put that, just keep that little thing on there. And I have another brush here that is good for not really small, tiny places, but it's a smaller brush. Down the horn. Now I'm going to get some on my finger like this, swirl it with my thumb like that, and just, as you can see, it's just gorgeous. Ridge of the wing, maybe a little bit on the eyebrow, tip of the ear. Wing. You can see it's quite pretty, and maybe a little bit on the nostril, and then the texture. Very pretty. Easy to get lost in it, you know, when I'm doing it. I know I'm doing a tutorial, obviously, but, you know, sometimes I just forget to talk when I'm doing it because it's so amazing how pretty it is. It's a wonderful product. Of course, there are many products out there that are very good, but I've been using the Reflex pigments for a long time, and I really like it. And then what I'll do is I'll take I'll put a little bit of water on my brush, wipe off the excess, and anywhere I can't reach, I'll get a little bronze on the brush and just go cover that. It's a lot different than if you put it on dry. Of course, it will dry and when it bakes, but it will be baked into the surface. Now you want to bake this, and there's going to be also in the video description down below the video, there's going to be baking instructions. So take a look at those and follow the instructions and go ahead and bake your dragon. Okay, so we're back now and we're going to light it up, see how it works for us. And I want to talk about the lamp. It's a lithium battery. It's actually a submersible lamp. You can actually put this in water. And it's a simple on-off by twisting it. And this kind changes color, so it has like green, purple, blue, red. So it's kind of neat. And you can also get them clear, and you can get them single colors, you know, just burning a static light. And yeah, so it's pretty simple, of course. Just put it underneath and it'll light it up. Now there is of course, you know, it's dark, it's not dark in here, so the crystals aren't really going to light up as much as it would be if it was a little bit more dim. It's broad daylight right now. I just turned my desk lamp off, but you can see the blue and the amethyst. It's actually quite pretty, and if you turn the lights out, it's just gorgeous. And you know, you can take it with you because it's a battery power. You know, you can move it around if you want, whatever. So it's really pretty. And so that is our dragon crystal lamp, and that is how you do it. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I have many videos along these lines. Also, please give me a thumbs up on the video and let me know that you liked it. Please share it with your friends, and on any social media that you're on. And leave me any comments or questions. And remember that one comment I wanted you to leave about what you might like to have a video made about. And I'll try to do that. I do try to answer all my comments, and I do interact with the people that watch my videos and my subscribers. So definitely feel free to leave a comment. And thank you so much for watching. Be creative, have fun, and have a great day.